3, 2, 1.
What is going on, Southwest ISD? How are we doing? Welcome back to your favorite podcast. This is the Scoreboard podcast. My name is Brandon Medina. That is Mr. Peter Wagner, your athletic director of Southwest ISD. We're happy to be with you and happy holidays. This is the last week before school lets out for the break, but sports do not stop, and we still have many sports to talk about before we get out of here. So, looking at 2024, sir.
Hi, Brandon. How you doing?
So, looking at
You doing
2024,
okay?
sir. You already know this.
You didn't even say hi.
Because here's what's going to happen, guys. When I introduce this man, if I introduce this man, which I've already said his name, you know the name, and then you also know that for the next 27 minutes, you're going to hear my voice for maybe 30 seconds. So once he starts, there's nothing else to go back on.
I have one question. Brandon is wearing a Santa cap with Texas Tech on it and a Grinch ugly sweater.
Yeah.
Right?
First off, it's sweater.
So
ugly is disrespectful.
So my question to you is: Are you wearing the Grinch with the Texas Tech because Texas Tech's not so great, or
you're not?
What are we doing here?
You're baiting me into a conversation. That's not gonna happen. All right, dude. All I know is I lost.
Hook 'em horns.
I did lose some money to David Ellis, Mr. David Ellis. We bet back in the summer that I was very confident Texas Tech was going to have a very good year, and I told him Boise State, no chance they finish higher than Texas Tech, and they're in the playoffs.
Yeah. And then Texas Tech almost loses to Abilene Christian in the first game. All right. Anyway.
Anyways, Rec of Tech. But let's talk about Southwest ISD Athletics, man. Looking at the year end, that's what we're going to kind of do this today is talk about not only, of course, soccer, and we'll talk basketball, we'll talk baseball and the softball for middle school as they have a big tournament coming up. But also, we're going to take a look at the year-end result of 2024 for all of Southwest ISD. 2023 was historic in a lot of ways. Last year, 2024, how have we grown? Do you think we still need to grow a little bit more to maybe catch what we did last year? Or how would you kind of summarize, I guess, what this year has done so far from the spring to now the fall?
I think the hard part is going to be replicating, Anthony Zapata from the spring. But other than that, I think the growth is the consistency. You know what I mean? That 2023 wasn't just this aberration of a year of like, oh, wow, look what we did on this 1 year. It's starting to become the expectation, sometimes depending on realignment, you know what I mean, and things like that. But it'll get tougher as the teams go to 6A probably in the next realignment. But the expectation and the consistency of our success is pretty cool. You know what I mean? I think that's built in the things that we do on a regular day in, day out basis. But just a recap, of 2024, let's kind of think back. You got the Southwest boys basketball team makes the playoffs in basketball. The Legacy girls basketball team makes the playoffs. The Legacy boys basketball team is 1 point away from in a play-in game from making the playoffs. And then the boys basketball team is a top 20 team in the state at the time. Loses a good game against Wagner in the second round. Great team there. And then you get to soccer, and all four teams make the playoffs. You got Legacy loses to Alma Heights, one of the best teams in the state, in overtime. Put one off the top bar. Then you got the Legacy Titan girls make the playoffs. And play Alamo Heights. And then you got, obviously, what is this, 6 years in a row or something like that, 5 years in a row that the Dragons, both boys and girls, had won the district championship. Yep. And then, the boys are, I hate to bring up old stuff, but the boys are basically a penalty kick away from possibly going to the regional finals for the first time and things like that. And so you take that into the spring where you got softball, the Dragons softball team goes to the playoffs, wins the first round. You got the baseball team goes to the playoffs, wins the first round, loses to Kerrville in a way that they probably overachieved a little bit, things like that. So great job there. And then Anthony goes and medals in the 800 at the state track meet, which was amazing and awesome. From Legacy, And so great things there. Had a great summer, and then you come in, and then it continues. Go 1-2 again in tennis, with the Titans winning a second straight district championship and area championship and in a by-district championship. And then you got the volleyball team from Southwest winning another district championship. The football team having, not even arguably anymore, I would say that they had the greatest season, single season in school history, the football team. And so just a heck of a start, and a heck of a 2024. And we're off to the boys basketball team at Southwest and Legacy Legacy's playing a tough schedule and competing and getting some wins and things like that. The Dragons are the same way. Can't wait for the Fire and Armor matchup here during the Christmas holidays. I think when they right when they come back around the end of December. I think December 31st actually. New Year's Eve is the Fire and Armor first rendition of Fire and Armor basketball this year, and that's both the girls and boys games are going to be very competitive. Very interested in that, and then and then you got soccer. So really off to a great start there. So really interested in we had a great 2024.
Yeah.
That followed up, and I think the growth is in consistency. Like that's starting to be the expectation.
Right.
Instead of, oh, look, we won. It's like, what are you doing to put ourselves in that spot where we're expected to be in the playoffs in every sport? We're expected to be go get them. Where the kids are expected, you choose that sport. What are you doing to be excellent in that sport? And so when we're focused on the habits and behaviors that create excellence, that's how you create great humans.
And I think as a district, the sport that I would say encapsulates that to the fullest is probably tennis. I mean, tennis, last year we go, man, look at this. Medina Valley was really, really strong for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We finally, last year in 2023, we see, okay, it's Southwest versus Southwest Legacy. On the show, we're like, either way, it's coming home to Southwest ISD. Yeah. And you follow up with this year, and I mean, again, the tie-in tennis team, again, cements their place at the top of the district again, makes a deep run. And so, looking at a team like that, where, like you said, you go from this isn't just a congratulations, what an accomplishment, great year, to now being congratulations, what a organization, what a department, what a
and
sport.
To go deeper into that is to say, we're moving from like, oh, we got lucky. This kid came into us playing a lot of golf or playing a lot of tennis, and so we're good because we got one or two kids because they already came in. We're actually taking responsibility for building those things.
Yep.
And so, and I'll give you a quick example of that. Yesterday and a week or two ago, I was talking to Coach Gomez at Legacy and Coach Arceo at Southwest, and we're looking at bringing in tournaments on a monthly basis that they're UTR tournaments, which is basically that's how you rate tennis players.
Yeah.
And so we're going to start getting our middle school, and we're going to do it here at Southwest. So the philosophy is, how do we bring this stuff to our kids so we can give them the opportunities that like those New Braunfels kids and everybody has there, but we're bringing them to our kids so that they can get that experience, those reps and things like that. And it starts to become a habit of that's how we build it to where, when we go 6A, it's like, we're still going to be competitive. You know what I mean? And with both schools and everything. So really putting those things in, I think that's the growth in all of our sports. We have last year was one of the first years where every single one of our volleyball players played club in some way, whether it be with CYDI, who we work with and that comes to Southwest Legacy, and our kids all play there, and got a great TOTS program and things that we do to create those successful opportunities, you know what I mean, that build championships on a regular basis. You know what I mean? We work on bringing these things into all of our kids. And I think those habits and behaviors are what create those results.
Yeah.
And so they become consistent, and that's the growth.
Yeah.
And everything. So.
And, talking about consistent and growth and being accountable for growing some of these students, it starts at the elementary and the middle school level, and I think that goes right into kind of what we're talking about with baseball and softball at the middle school level, and then you even have basketball, and you have volleyball, and you have so many sports. This being the inaugural year for baseball and softball, we have a tournament tomorrow for that. Talk to me about kind of the expectation going into the year of what this was going to look like, and then where it stands and if how proud you are of the
I
program.
I think the neat part that I saw that you expect, but then when you see it, it's even neater is the growth. When we started tryouts, the coaches were like, "Coach, I don't know about B teams. People are getting hit in the face by they can't even play catch and stuff like that." Sometimes when you get to the lower ends of people who are just trying things out and stuff like that, and you go watch the teams now, and it's like there's they're playing like good softball and baseball. You know what I mean? They're throwing strikes for the most part. They're hitting the ball. We have a rule that it's 6 batters or 3 outs. So there's more than a few games where it was more times 6 batters and 3 outs. And now you're starting to see that trend start to change to where they're getting 3 outs before 6 batters and stuff like that. And that's just so more people can play and different things of that nature. But games are going a little bit faster and things like that. And so the growth in that is really neat and everything. And it's not a lot. I mean, we only played for like 6 weeks, if that. But the growth in that, and then being able, we've identified more kids that our coaches are starting to talk to get them to find to learn about them, to seek to understand where they're at, where their family is, so that we can connect them with different club teams, different ways to help them grow, so they come into high school even more prepared. And so really excited about those things. And we had a bomb hit. McNair kid hit one out, and baseball hit the scoreboard and stuff like that. Had some really good things going on and stuff. Resnick is the number 1 seed, but between Resnick, Scobie, and McNair, it was a 3-way tie for first, and we had to break those ties by run differential. So Resnick's the 1 seed. I can't tell you if McNair or Scobie's a 2 and the 3 seed, and McAuliffe is the 4 seed. So this is Thursday. So this afternoon, the first round of our 4-team tournament is. So you got Resnick and McAuliffe playing at and this is both squads. You know what I mean? Both baseball and softball. Resnick and McAuliffe are playing at Legacy, and Scobie and McNair are playing at Southwest. They'll play tonight, and then the winners will play the winners, and then the loser will play for third and fourth. And so really excited about that, putting a bow on it, and then that is a great transition right to high school softball and baseball.
Yeah.
And everything. So excited about those things. While we're at it, though, talking about building our kids and stuff, want to give a huge shout out to Coach Sandy Hernandez, who leads up, our assistant athletic director that leads up PE, health, all those types of things. Had a great event last night, the Hoops Madness, with the 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th graders came out and competed, and had all of our coaches out there, introduced them, and had one kid doing the gritty on the way out when he got introduced and things like that. Just great time. Had a full packed stands of parents and things. So really grateful to all of our PE coaches at the elementary school and middle school level, all of our high school coaches who came out and supported and helped put it on and everything, and then Coach Hernandez for really putting on a great event and stuff like that. So had a really good time, and that's part of what we're trying to do. What are the things that we do on a consistent basis that get our kids reps? Is what we're trying to do and stuff. So, yeah, doing a great job there.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear it.
I want to give you your 30 seconds. Make sure you get your 30 seconds of talking.
30 seconds. And so he needs to calm he's getting dry mouth over there talking much. But looking at I guess 2025, right? There's a lot to be excited about. You have soccer starting to get going. You mentioned softball, baseball kicking off in the spring as well. Basketball is already fully in game mode. And so looking at this spring, how does that differ, do you think, as far as obviously football is big in Texas in general, especially at Southwest ISD, but soccer, probably the most consistently winning program in Southwest ISD. Baseball and softball, notoriously the most hard sport as far as district play to get on top. It switches every year. Medina Valley's out. There's a lot of changes happening. What do you think 2025 might bring that maybe we didn't see in 2024?
One thing that we had talked about earlier is I think you're going to see a rise. I think at Legacy, as they've already started to make the playoffs, I think you're going to start to see even more of that, especially at the girls' side. I think Coach, like I said last time, I think Coach Hall Martinez is doing a really good job of building that program. Um, I think that. So I think that. I think number two, is from watching what's happened the last couple of weeks is Southwest might be a little bit better than we thought they were going to be in terms of on the boys' side. I think on the girls' side, as Coach Jim Morrow once said, no, I think it was Danny Green from your Vikings said,
okay.
we are who they are, who we thought they were,
Yeah.
and stuff. I think that the girls are going to be very competitive on the Dragon side, kind of like the Titans. I think that fire and armor matchup will be pretty
Something to
interesting.
watch for sure.
Yeah, I think that, and I think both of them will be. But given what I've seen with, so you have the girls, the Lady Titans are after two scrimmages or two friendlies, they've beaten Hondo and Uvalde, and then I haven't seen the Dragons scores yet, but they've played some pretty tough competition in Harlan, and then Kennedy and stuff. So we'll see how that pans out. But I'll tell you that most impressive, I think, is the friendly schedule for the Southwest boys, in terms of they started out with a team that is predicted to go to state in Brownsville Rivetta, beat them 2-1 after giving up an early goal and stuff. And I think they feel like they're a little bit better than what even that 2-1. And then they turned that around and they just beat Brandeis last night 5-1, or Tuesday night 5-1. And they got Piper coming to town, who's another top 10 team and everything. And so if they beat them, then they're probably on their way to they're a top 3 team right now in the region. They might be on their way to a top 5, top 10 ranking in the state. And so excited about them if they can stay healthy and take care of their grades and all that kind of stuff. But I really think that we're in for a treat when it comes to boys basketball. I think that the Dragons, the Titans, and then the J Mustangs are a top 15 team in the state right now, and then South Sand's really good. And then after that, the bottom 5 are it's a matter of don't get clipped, you know what I mean? And then we'll see where it comes out on the wash with the boys basketball teams. But I think both boys basketball teams at Southwest are very high level. Lots of talent, lots of work put in, great coaching, things of that nature. Same to be said for the girls, except that they're just young. Both teams are incredibly young. Coach Hernandez and I were talking yesterday, and they have one senior, Jemiah Harmon, and after that, their main scoring threats are all freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. And so, very excited about the future. But the district this year is pretty top heavy, so they're going to have to come together pretty quick. The Dragons got a huge win last week against Harlandale, and so I think they may be coming together, like I said a couple weeks ago. But they got a lot of work to do because the MacArthur girls are really good, McCullum's really good, Jay's pretty good, and Southside's pretty good. And then you're sitting there with the Harlandale and everybody else after that. So that'll be a test, for the girls if they get in. I think they'll be overachieving a little bit at this point, given what's in the district and everything. And then you got, like I said, soccer's doing good, and then pretty excited about talking about softball and baseball as we come back.
Yeah. Oh man, well I'm excited, man. Anything that you want to share with the folks? I know that you said there's some holiday games happening around the district.
Yeah, I think the biggest one is you're at the end of the week the Dragons will play Piper in soccer. I think that's a 4:00 game, something like that, on Friday. And then, but the big one is the Fire and Armor basketball game. Come out to either side because they're both going to be really good games, girls and boys, on the 31st. I think that one's at noon. The boys play. So that's a big one.
There you go.
know.
New Year's plans right there.
New Year's plans, there you go.
Some Southwest ISD
Get some basketball and then start watching some playoff football.
Yeah, and then you go watch the fireworks and celebrate another successful year for Southwest ISD and hopefully for yourself and your family as well.
Yeah.
Do we need to recognize any Warriors or
Yep.
Titans?
Yep. We got the Dragon Warrior of the Week was Riley Milligan
Nice.
and stuff. Riley's he's first of all he's like
in
the
everything.
yell leader. Yeah,
He's in everything.
he's like the yell leader, but he's also the leader of the leader of the dungeon. He's the captain of the swim and water polo team, an all district player in water polo, and working on swimming. And an all district golfer. You know, does a lot of that stuff, and then he's one of the he's I think the head honcho of the state bound ROTC team and stuff like that. So doing a lot there. So really proud of Riley as a Dragon Warrior of the Week, and then probably one of my most favorite Titans in the world is Eli Sanchez. His sister won it a few weeks ago, so he couldn't be held back. So Eli is a starter and all district player in football, and then turns around is also one of the top players on the basketball team.
Nice.
Love those multi-sport athletes, and great kid, great student. Really works hard and things like that. So excited for Eli to be Titan Warrior of the Week. And then the last one is want to really give a shout out, and I know she doesn't listen to this, but when you see her, just want to say thank you to our athletics secretary, Yolanda Rodriguez,
Nice.
because
Elite.
she is retiring. She's raised me for the last 15 years and kept me straight for as much as possible. But really want to thank her for all of her service and how much time she's put into the Southwest ISD Athletics Department, the Southwest High School, a long time ago athletics department. She's been here for over 30 years, I think.
Wow.
Something like that. And so really happy for her getting to go see her grandbabies and travel and see her kids and just move on to the next things in life. So very happy. Congratulations, and celebrating her.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Southwest ISD, for another wonderful year. That's Peter Wagner. I'm Brandon Medina. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
And we talk about hitting the under, baby.
Feliz
Let's
Navidad.
go.
Man, this is a Christmas miracle right here. The fact that it's under 30 minutes. And the fact that you heard more than a minute of my voice is a Christmas miracle. But we appreciate you all. Have a safe and wonderful holidays. We will see you in 2025.
Thank you, parents and coaches, for all you do.
Yes, and listen, students, finish strong. If you're a senior, we look forward to telling all your stories in the spring. We are going to be trying to look out for more student stories and maybe some student little journalists.
Contributors.
So we'll figure out what that looks like. But 2025 is going to be a big year for the podcast, for the show, and for Southwest ISD as a whole. So Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll see you next time. And as always, we are
Southwest.